صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought us very close to the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. May Allah ta'ala give us all tawfiq that we use these days well in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to become close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the months of Hajj, and the time of Hajj is a time of great worship and becoming close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the pilgrimage that Allah ta'ala has given to the ummah, that they visit the house of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولله على الناس حج البيت من استطاع إليه سبيلا. That it is for Allah Ta'ala a duty on every single person that they visit the house of Allah, they go to the Kaaba in Makkatul Mukarramah and they do their Hajj. This is a right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a duty that Allah ta'ala has put on every Muslim, that they do their Hajj. Man istata'a ilayhi sabila, that everyone who has the ability to go for Hajj, for those people is compulsory. They fulfill this obligation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This verse, it is the verse in the Quran that has made the Hajj an obligation on the Muslims and the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And in a narration, Anas radiyallahu anhu said, سئل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن قول الله من استطاع إليه سبيلا. That one time Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was asked about this verse of Allah, من استطاع إليه سبيلا فقيل ما السبيل. So it was asked to Rasulullah, the O Prophet of Allah, ما السبيل, that what does this word mean? سبيل, من استطاع إليه سبيلا, whoever they have the ability of a sabila. What does it mean? That the person, they have a sabil, the ability to go for Hajj. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had replied, الزاد والراحلة, that this means that they have the financial ability, they have the provisions to enable them to travel for that Hajj, they have the financial ability to have all the requirements for that journey, and they have the ability to financially reside in a place of Hajj in Makkah and uphold this travel and return safely. Once they have this financial ability of provision and travel, Now for them it is compulsory that they fulfill this obligation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so it's very important, whoever has not done their Hajj, that we make full intention that we will complete this duty. We have so much wealth. Allah has given us the ability to travel around the world. We go for the beaches and leisure. So many, they travel to their home countries to visit their family. Alhamdulillah, this is a great thing that we keep relation and we keep link with our family back home, and with that link we also help our family. We know very well the people who go back to their home countries, more often than not, they are supporting their family from here, and when they go, they are giving them financial support, moral support, and they are maintaining the ties of relationship, alhamdulillah. But my brothers, besides traveling for family and traveling otherwise for leisure, we have to always remember that we should also travel to fulfill the obligation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And whoever they fail in this one, Allah ta'ala said, وَمَنْ كَفَرَ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَنِيٌّ عَنِ الْعَالَمِينَ. That whoever they disbelieve in the faradiyya, the compulsion of a Hajj. They disbelieve in Hajj being compulsory. They disbelieve in the laws of Allah. They disbelieve and do not have a full submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَنِيٌّ عَنِ الْعَالَمِينَ. Then verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is free of any need of the alameen. So my brothers, worshipping Allah, fulfilling our duties to Allah, these are the ways we become close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we need Allah ta'ala. The people who they fail to worship Allah, they do not become close to Allah by fulfilling the duties and obligations to Allah. Allah has no need, but those people who fail, they are among the losers. They will be among the people who have lost the love of Allah, the help of Allah, and the success both of this dunya and the akhirah. May Allah ta'ala give us all tawfiq. We make intention for Hajj, we fulfill the obligation for ourselves, our wives, our children, our parents, whoever the Hajj, it is a duty upon them. We should find a way to enable this one and fulfill this obligation at the soonest time we can. Because if a person, they have not done their Hajj and they had the ability, then this will be a great cause of a sin and the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In a narration, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu said, لَقَدْ هَمَمْتُ أَنْ أَبْعَثَ رِجَالًا إِلَى هَذِهِ الْأَمْصَارِ. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu had said that I had wished that I would send men to these lands of the Muslims, and they can look and assess and search those people who have the wealth and ability to fulfill their Hajj and this obligation of Allah and this fard worship of Allah, that He search for those people and the ones who they have the ability but they have not done their Hajj. فَيَضْرِبُوا عَلَيْهِمُ الْجِزْيَةِ. He had wished then that those men who were sent, they will make compulsory upon these people that they pay the jizya, the tax that is paid from the non-Muslims to the Muslim state. مَا هُمْ بِمُسْلِمِينَ مَا هُمْ بِمُسْلِمِينَ. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu said that those people, they have the ability, the financial ability to fulfill their Hajj and to go for Hajj, but they don't go still. those people, ma hum bi muslimin. He says that these are not the Muslims. Ma hum bi muslimin. He repeated, they are not Muslims, that they fail to fulfill the obligation given by Allah. They have disbelieved in this order and instruction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu, he's saying in this statement very sternly that when the order of Allah has come and the people, they have the ability but they fail to fulfill this one, then the consequence, it will be that they have a weakness in their faith, and even they have lost their faith and lost their iman and become distanced from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah, we fulfill the Hajj, we make the intention, we make our heart close to Allah through these fulfillments of His instructions and orders. May Allah give us all tawfiq for us and our families. The Qurbani days are coming, and in the days of Hajj, although we are not there going, maybe some of us we are going. Those who are going for Hajj, may Allah Ta'ala accept their Hajj. The people who are traveling, may Allah make their journey safe. They go there safely and they return safely with a Hajj Mabrura, an accepted Hajj. That is a cause for their forgiveness and blessings. And also the people who are remaining, they have a great duty as well. So the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are coming. Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Wal Fajri wa layalin ashar. Allah Ta'ala swore oath by the dawn, and thereafter secondly, Allah Ta'ala then He swore oath by the 10 nights, wa layalin ashar. And these 10 nights sworn oath in this verse, these are the 10 nights of Dhul Hijjah. So may Allah Ta'ala give us the ability from now to prepare, that when these 10 days of Dhul Hijjah will come, we are preparing to fast in the day, pray our salah, read the Quran, do more dhikr of Allah and more durood to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So these are the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Whenever we want to do any great work, we have to start to plan and prepare from beforehand. So this is number one, the days of Dhul Hijjah. Also Qurbani is important, that while we are here, we have to fulfill the obligation of Qurbani. Qurbani is a slaughtering and sacrificing to remember the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail alayhi salam. How Allah Ta'ala had tested Ibrahim alayhi salam, his love and the devotion, commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah Ta'ala said, you must slaughter your son, because Allah wanna see what is more beloved to Ibrahim, his son or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he was a Khalilur Rahman, straight away without any hesitation. Ibrahim alayhi salam and also his son Ismail alayhi salam, they submitted totally to Allah and accepted to fulfill this instruction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So then they had prepared for slaughtering, and Allah said Ismail alayhi salam. Now to remember this story, we have to now fulfill our obligation and sacrifice to Allah by slaughtering an animal. Allah Ta'ala never asked us to slaughter our son, never asked us to do anything major, big. Only we have to slaughter the goat or take a share of the camel or the share of the cow, and we have fulfilled this obligation of Allah. And remember the great story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So my brothers, Qurbani and slaughtering and sacrifice, the dhabh, this is a wajib, it's not a sunnah or optional. Qurbani is a wajib, that means it is compulsory, a requirement on every single Muslim whom they have the wealth on these days of Dhul Hijjah. Whoever has the wealth equal to nisab for zakah, the minimum amount of wealth that makes the zakah compulsory. If we have this much wealth, we have to do a Qurbani and slaughter. And this is not one animal per household, this is a one animal per person. So in our house, if a husband has that wealth and a wife has that wealth and the son also, they are the adult and they have that wealth, they have to all give their own qurbani individually. If we have this amount of wealth in our bank account, sometime our children, they are now elder children, and we've saved that money for them so many years, or they are working part-time, or however this be, and they have the wealth in their bank. Now they have to fulfill the obligation, and we should be so happy that we can sacrifice an animal and sacrifice for Allah and get this reward of Allah and send these rewards to the people whom they are deserving. So when we sacrifice, we can send the blessings and rewards to our family as well. Family meaning who have passed away, that our parents and grandparents, we can do a sacrifice and ask dua to Allah that send these rewards to our family, that they get this reward in their grave. It will be sent as a nur and light by the angels of Allah, that your family and relatives, they have sent to you these rewards, so we can slaughter for fulfilling our obligation to Allah, to send those rewards to our relatives as well, and also we can slaughter so that we are able thereafter to share their meat to the poor people. And we do not have to suffice with one qurbani. We are, mashallah, in the Western world, the modern rich Western countries, we can do 10 qurbani, or we can do up to 100 qurbani. It's nothing too expensive for us, but we can make this way to get that reward and send to our relatives. So we are arranging it. One full cow qurbani, 7 shares, cost £150. We are arranging. Although you can go to any charity, any place we are comfortable with, we are doing it because we have a link in India, and the price is really more reasonable there, so we have arranged in India. This is how ECOIS is doing it. But you can find charities that are doing it for Bangladesh, and there's a great flood and problem there, so we may want to give our qurbani to Bangladesh, in that country, to help them people, or Pakistan, or Somalia, or Yemen, Syria, so many places. We can go to any charity we are comfortable with, alhamdulillah, and give our donation and support there. But we are also arranging it for ease of people, if they want to, that they can do it via ourselves. One full cow is for 7 shares. That means we can give one name for us, and other 6 names for anyone else is wajib upon, or we can put extra nafil names for our parents and grandparents, and the £150 is 1 cow. And this means that we can even do 2 cows, my brothers. £300 is a nothing. We buy television, £2,000-3,000. This is a fitna, fasad, and corruption and destruction. But we can give that money. How many cows we can slaughter? How many diseased people we can send blessings to? How many rewards we will bring to our grave when we go to Allah Ta'ala? The animals slaughtered, every hair of their body, every organ of their body will be put in the scales, that this person sacrificed this for the sake of you, Ya Allah, and it will be weighed for their goodness and for their rewards, and of course for them to enter into Jannah. So my brothers, we don't have to think about one qurbani only, but if we have a real love for sacrificing for Allah, this is a great sacrifice and ibadah and worship in these days of qurbani, that we do extra one, and all that meat we will be sacrificing is going to the poor people, who they will eat and they will enjoy that time. And those people in these third world countries, we call them third world, but in the poorer countries, they are waiting for us people in the West, that they will do a lot of qurbani and share their meat, and we can enjoy that one. How do we know which child, which mother, or man, or person, they will do dua to Allah, that they have sent this meat to us, we have received this blessing, Ya Allah, and they will do a dua for us, and that dua become accepted. And this dua could be the sake of our protection and our salvation, both in this dunya and in the akhirah. We never know, my brothers, what our sadaqah, Allah has written that because of this sadaqah, make one word and leave the mouth of someone, and that word, it could bring a light to the entire of the heavens. So my brothers, inshallah, this is the qurbani in India. 1 cow, £150, or 1 goat, £105. And besides this, you've all got my message, I think. You know, if we want to give a more bigger cow, it's not one fixed price. Then we can give £170, £190, up to £500. Wherever the person want to donate, big cow, smaller, if they let us know, then our people who they are there, people who, this is my own cousin, so I'm doing through my cousin. So anyone wondering who is doing it, this is my cousin. They live in Bihar and they have access to a lot of poverty in this area. So this is my route. So everyone know that the money go to them, and then they buy the cattle and the animal from the market, and then they slaughter and distribute to the poor. So this is how we are doing it. Everyone is free to have their own means and ways. So this will be a great thing, inshallah. We can choose the size we want of a cow, and if we want to do goat. Lastly, I want to say on this point as well, that we must really, my brothers, do one local Qurbani as well. Locally is so important that our children, they taste the meat of Qurbani. We have to bring this sunnah alive to their eyes, and they taste the Qurbani meat. We show to them, this is the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam's example, and this is why we do Qurbani. And then when they eat that meat, they will be having a love for the deen of Allah, the sunnah of Rasulullah, the sunnah of the Anbiya. So if we do Qurbani here, we are showing to our children about what is the reasons and elevated practices of our religion. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin.